What's going on, guys? Emo Tempest here, and we are back for another Opus 14 card of the week. This time it is Shinryu. I actually don't know which game this is from, which is interesting. I took a little sneak peek already. It says special, so I don't know if it's from all across the games. I can't think of a Shinryu like that I've seen in the main games. Maybe it's from the early ones, like 1, 2, and 3 or something. Or maybe it's just a monster that I guess they make. I think maybe a Shinryu I remember is like the one in 9. It's like a pink dragon. But I don't know if this is just like an art for it, kind of like the way they did the bomb and the flan and all that stuff. So, whatever. That's cool. The art is fantastic as always. That's a Matsuda one. So it's really nice. We have Kageyama here talking about it. So let's get straight into the card. When Shinryu enters the field, deal 10,000 damage to all forwards of cost 3, 6, and 9 opponent controls. Okay. At the beginning of main phase 1, during each of your turns, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. If it is a forward, all the forwards your opponent controls loses 7,000 power until the end of your turn. If it is not a forward, draw 2 cards. Okay, those are two pretty fun busted effects. Yeah, so right off the bat, just the first ability, 3, 6, and 9. A lot of 3 is probably the most common, like forward count, like drop for any deck, unless you're playing like big forward. What is that, Versailles, like aggro deck or whatever. Monks has 3 and 6. Samurais has 3 and 6. Even old wind decks and wind ice, and any old wind deck would be 3, 6, and 9 mostly. Water is probably the safest bet around this. There is a lot of 3s, but they do play mostly 4s and 5s. That's just like from what I can gather, like off the top of my head, right after reading this nutty effect. And then the second part, it's if it reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, so you get insight. Then if it's a forward, you can reduce all their forwards by 7,000. Anything in the 7,000 range will die, will be sent to the break zone. And then if not, draw 2 cards, which is just you drew 4 cards this turn, which is already insane. So that's very good. Let's get into it. Yeah, so he goes on to talk about that some of the cards you can break is Citrus, Iron, Ritz, the Ishtolas, the new Ishtolas. I don't know what's up with the page. I guess it's dead. It doesn't really load the images there for us. But Tenzen, Neo X Death, and the new Rain as well, the Fire Rain. Yeah, but like I was saying, the biggest threats out there are like, Yang, Matt, and those are some good examples. And it also says it could, break Yasmat here, so those are some good ideas too. And as far as pairing this with other cards, again, I'm thinking just water, right? Like, it's good to play with it in water, so you can be safe from one against it usually. Being as he's 5 as well, right? Like you can't get Shinryu'd, right? Like, but it also like leaves room for a little more reduction. 7,000 will pretty much reduce most things to like no more than 3k, right? Obviously, right? Because anything after that would survive. But water and wind have a lot of opportunities to just like finish things right off the top, with a little more reduction or a little damage here and there. But it also lets little forwards swing over pretty easily, which is something that water is probably gonna like need in the next set. Yeah, and so like he's saying here, the Raiden Revenue Rings. I don't even remember this Raiden. But the Afrida to deal 3k to everything, Pandemonium to deal 2k to everything, and Lani, I guess, in case you want to avoid bad draws, which is interesting. I don't know if that would be that great, but sure, Kageyama, I feel you, man. So yeah, this card is pretty cool. Let's see, we don't have anything to search dragons, but we do have ways to search light forwards, so that's a good thing. Things to search any character, obviously, so those are probably the highest cards to get your hands on Shinryu, other than opening him. But his effects are really solid. This is the light elf. And yeah, I think that's it. That's about it for this one. What do you guys think about this card? We did get some new spoilers this week, so I am excited to talk about those in a later video. So be be on the lookout for that. Um, Kageyama also goes on to say that RB will be back next week to introduce a main character from a mainline title. Now, the only other mainline title ones we've seen, like there's like a Water Wind Zidane that we're looking for in this set, I believe. And I think we've seen most of the other ones. We saw the Cloud already. The only one, maybe, I don't know if mainline titles considered the War of the Visions, but there's the Mont we're still waiting for from there. So I don't think that'll be it, but if it is, that's cool. Yeah, man, this card is pretty nuts. I'm excited for it. Should be fun. I don't know how many we'd play in a deck, or if it's enough to build a deck around, but you're definitely going to splash one or two in there to counter, just about everything. For me, like I said, it's going to go in a water deck, maybe a water wind deck, just to play into the strengths. But if it's anything like a deck, if Opus 14 is anything like the way the meta's been like drawing out, it's going to be a multicolored 4-color deck anyway, and you're going to play triple Shinryu, and that's going to be that, right? Because you're going to be drawing 4 cards a turn, or clearing boards, so it's going to be tough either way. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys excited to play this with? And yeah, that's it. I'll catch you next time.